Good morning, folks. It's 10:31 a.m. on the second month, 25th day, 2025. We're looking at here is a geostorm out in the Coral Sea. It's very man-made looking again, I must say, with these straight lines. Not a very well-pronounced circular form to what is now a tropical cyclone. And one of the first things I notice in here is the path it's going to take. Straight showing up in this image. It shows me where the EMF lines are of least resistance for this storm to want to go to. And so right now I'm going to go over some of this stuff of why I say the storm is going to do, some of what it's going to do. If I zoom the map down, see these lines here? That wasn't a very good color to pick. How about white? Right, you got like an influence cone, like a series of moisture flow boundaries in here. You got one going that way, and you got one channeling moisture up towards this outer band that's moving this direction there, right? And this is being channeled down here into here. See, is conicity has a lot to do with flow. I've noticed. And so I see straight off that the motion of this storm is to come in here and move that direction, or for this to slide down into that spot there, which you see being prepared for it right now with lots of EMF and chem deployments that have been streaming in, like you see over here on the sides. It's definitely quite the geoengineering event. If you look over here on the western side, you see that looks like an X, and then it turns into a storm, right? It nucleates to condensates. Yeah, these are not just Tesla waves off the side of a storm, like you would see waveforms coming off the side of a wire that has alternating current in it. If you measured things, this is just chem. Yep, chem in an electron smog soup of EMF, and they got a lot of beams doing some decidings of where this is going to go. And I do look a lot at the low deck flow, what's happening with these like microwave popcorn clouds here. Are any of them like going this direction and then that direction, opposing their winds suddenly? Where is the flow? And the flow boundary is right here over Port Douglas right now, to this side of this cell. Because when I zoom back, I see a haziness to the ocean. It's showing up quite visibly. I don't have to go to a particular image for that one. That's one of the big beams. You'll see this line from here to here, and it's coming all the way ashore. See that Cairns? Are you beaming out here, Cairns? Because I suspect that Cairns is beaming like this. And I suspect that Rocky was beaming up, and Mackay is beaming up. So we're going to be watching where these corridors of flows, because as this comes into this, it isn't going to go straight through. It's going to want to come down here because of the walls of resistance here from this beam line go rushing in that direction, and the beam lines will have energy rushing in that direction, and this becomes like the neutral zone, kind of where the dynamics are usually they're going in a toroid like this, right? And like this. Yeah, the waveform in the sky. And we don't know what angle it's at. Is it angled down? Is it straight up and down? We don't know these things. But we can see by the clouds that the dynamics of the clouds have changed. And it goes all the way up to here. And so I marked my mimic this morning in a rather confusing looking fashion for many people. But the big dividing line is coming right here. And if I zoom this back, it pretty much shows where I say the storm is going to go. And you've got a few days to prepare, maybe about 3. Here's that shot. I just screenshotted this so we can see the whole coastal dynamics. Now the main line of channeling in is happening here. I'm going to switch colors. All right, you got a swat. You got something's beaming from here up that way like that. I could see it. Something's put a V out here like that. Yeah, I'm going to have to get rid of some of that just to see what's going on. But I'm remembering this now. All right, I'm remembering it. So I'll leave the main ones in. So the perturbation from this storm is actually a haze on the low deck down here. It's coming in right like this. That area from here to here is in great danger of a lot of water coming. And when it comes down to about here, I'll do another shot here. When it gets down to about where this flow line is coming, she's going to sit for a bit. I think it's right about here. It's going to run into, see that bomb right there? Well, there's two flow lines set up here. And when it gets in that gap, there'll be beams coming off this coast. You'll be seeing this one here. There's an X-rad right about here. It's beaming down right now. That's a beam. You see the separation between them two cells. If I looked on a radar screen, I'd see it. You have another one from Rocky coming out here. You have a pulse wave here, and it's all pointing towards here. So that's shut for right now. It has a flow boundary here. So when the storm comes through, she's going to come down and it's going to sit. It could be 24 hours for that thing to move. And with the current conditions, it would be impossible for it to overcome the heated wall of EMF and atmospheric perturbation caused by the waveforms themselves. You can see the Rockies beaming, man. What you doing over here in the peninsula? Right about where I'm pointing. Something's over there. You have a device right where I'm pointing at. I can see it in the clouds. So they may be able to hide the beams, and let's say when I look at this, the next rad, with the ever beaming Willis Island. Yeah. You see that shape there? Right. Watch it change. And we could see what direction of the atmosphere is allowing flow by this beam itself. Flats are here and here. So the flow is not going to want to go north like that. It's not going to want to cut south over this station. It'll come right north of the island like that, just based on the position of the beam itself. Bzzz, getting fried. Willis Island style. You see it all just pointing at it. There's a lot of pulsation it takes to make a circle beam like that. Quite a lot. This is an odd one. You see that line there coming across there? It's intersected here. While the other ones are here. You got a ship right where I'm pointing. Right where that fist is. You got more than just Willis Island beaming out there. You have a big ship. And to say it's the Chinese one or a Navy one is that's guesswork. That radar is on. That's some heated flow there, heated flow there. So even just looking at this here, I can make a basic flow map. You know, where I can say, well, where is things least likely to flow? Anything coming, this is shut. Oops, excuse me. The cam in the skies, eyes are burning. That's shut, that's shut. There is flow allowed through here, then that's shut. So, I mean, there'll be gaps. So those things can still come and land. I know now because I looked at the beams that this from here to here is shut. That's shut. That's shut. That's shut. Yeah, because I went and looked at the maps already, right? That corridor is shut and things will go that direction from that spot, causing a suction to pull things in. Yeah, you guys are fucked. You know, some of this I'm doing determinants right now because this data is right in front of me right now. Look at a fryer on down south. Bzzz, bzzz, Tamworth. Bzzz, right over here. Comcac. Yeovil. Oof. Boy, are you guys getting fried. Fry in Canberra, fry in Melbourne. Got two of them on. That's a big blast. Ain't hiding their lies in the skies from my eyes. That's for fucking sure. Absolutely for sure. So you want me to roll through the most probable one? Because I don't find that any of these windy ones to be accurate. I'm going to tell you that. I find none of them are accurate. The totals are too low. So I'm going to cruise it in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. See, that one's got I'm doing a curveball, and that's not making sense. This thing should be now hooking towards the coast. Yep. Then down and down. This is where I'm in disagreement with their forecast. It's not showing me. I'm trying to get you a graphic that represents what I'm seeing. Yeah, this puts about right. It's going to put it right off the coast around the 28th in the 1st. Now, this is where I'm in disagreement with their forecast because I think this is about to come in a lot closer to Agnes Waters and Bunny than it's saying. It should actually do the shortcut across and then bring all that water down the coast. Hey, where did it just go? Glasshouse Mountains, Rucci, Mulaney, all that mountain roads back there. You guys about to have some action. So what highway's being targeted? Yeah. Where are people going to be able to drive home? How are people down here going to be able to get up there? That's my main concern. Any path that takes you to the west of Charleville and up should be okay. You're going to have an area of avoidance coming over here, probably from, I'd nearly say from about West Rocks north, up through probably, the line coming in is so close to Yeppoon in this, that one pulse could take that storm straight up over to this side. But I would like to be happy to say that from Mackay up through Cairns, I don't see how this is going to affect you. So you can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief from such news from me. Let me check if we're rolling. Says it is. We are rolling, the old Gimpy effect, Caboolture and them. He was talking some terrible totals I was seeing yesterday from this event. And none of this is etched in stone. But I'm very confident in what I'm telling you. So I'm giving you a vest warning. Its initial stuff is going to be Capricorn Coast up here. As she comes in with some of these totals here, which are a bit low, because I'm thinking about a half a meter. And some of the models that I was looking at of how much water was out in that tendril that I'll show you on Mimic is showing it's possible for them to get I hate to say this, 1.5 meters, 1,500 millimeters. I know what I'm talking about that wise. And same Rucci and then through here could be seeing 600 mils easy. Mulaney and all this through here. Glasshouse Mountains where they're trying to put new mines and things in to tear up the planet. Like there's no value in just being able to contemplate the beauty of existence anymore. And they're starting to show the totals for you if switching around Brizzy, which I think it will be a bit higher than that. Because that tendril's packing a wallop. And this is a very likely course it's going to take. Because I went on my wall and I made a map. It should be over here. I have to see which one it is. I do my homework. I did this map. It's probably this screenshot here. Where I looked at... I went and I had a look at the sat view. Because the image was gone today. And I mapped out the corridors. And this one here means it's unlikely anything can fit there. Because of the outflow boundaries, and these are separate beams, too. There's a lot of perturbations of the mantle, and I went and I looked at. They did the beam that separated that, so it's now free to move, and she's pretty much just cutting down this corridor, and it's pretty much matching up with what I just showed. And you see this scalar square right here. That's likely where she'll come ashore, and then take the cut across Australia that way, and then back out to sea. Is what I'm seeing. So it looks like March is going in like a lion, and they're lying about it. Yeah, even this far inland is going to spit some water out into the trough, get some cold air working its way up, and some absolute roasting going on out there. So let's just roll this a little further, because I don't want to take too much time on this. There's a lot of conjecture, and a lot of people all worried, and their worst case scenario one, it looks highly likely to be accurate. Even now this tendril out here in the center Is this what I watch? And where is the water and how much of it is it? Yeah, that's over a centimeter an hour. Yeah, this is what they got from NASA Worldview. Again, when you have a cyclonic system off your coast. Well, I can actually call this one a tropical cyclone. So I had to go get my data by screenshotting a sat view, which how I got that image earlier. So I'm going to have a quick look at the tropical cyclone page and get a little bit of data on this. We currently have two named systems. You have Bianca off the west coast being a bag of wind. Are they going to match my forecast finally? Fuck. They say she's going to go Cat 2. That's probably within about 20 hours. But if I come over here and hit the mimic, I think we're about to see what is going on. That's the latest mimic image. Are they whipping it up yet? So I'm waiting to see a beam start to shoot from over here. It's on, yeah, it's inside here, whipping it. And just at the very end, you'll see one shoot out from here. See it? So they're just now starting to strengthen it. So the image will be much more dramatic tomorrow. Let's get some, see if they're matching their data up even with each other. If I put on the intensity here. We've got major disagreements. Nobody can even measure a wind anymore. Nobody agrees about, these two are near matching. You know, 973 and 974. Now, how is that wind higher than that wind when that pressure is... Oh, God, this is... yeah, 67 knots. There's a bit of a disagreement in what these winds are causing. Like I say, it's almost like they want harm to happen, and they want you to not know what's going on. And so I had to come over here to see this sucker today. So I'll go in and we'll look at some live motion image on this. I'll show you some of the boomings and the plumings, and then I'm going to act like a banana and split. You can have a banana split, or you can be split by the banana. The choice is yours. There's a lot of chem down this side. Look at these waves and curtains of chem dump. Hi, let me just have a big square form storm right here. Whammo! That's like a hexagon. Look at that. That is not natural. That's not a rotation of a round circulation. Hey, we can have a look at this. Well, the first thing we see here is the stop sign, right? We just would stop. Little geometry going on down here. It has that. Fucking bastards. Right? So we have the geometry of this is very, very obvious to see as not being round, it not having even a discernible eye. And the low itself is actually I think it's here. Look at the bottom here on the edge. Boom! Tendrils of death coming over to Mr. Squiggles. You might end up drawing a scrotum. There's a beam sweat here. Remember that one that was showing up earlier on Mimic? There's evidence of it. I marked those beams out earlier. This is the dividing line between. There's a storm here. See this beam there? That's the one that separated those two. And so this one goes that way. And this is now free to move in that direction. And it's going to slide it south. Yeah, it's being held. She's coming that way. And that keeps that band separate, right? So when you look at a radar image, you see this look. And that look is what you expect to see in a hurricane, isn't it? And it's only been drawn on the screen. It doesn't have the wind strengths to even hardly exist without all this chem and all this EMF. What a shame when the brain went down the drain. So they've briefly had an eye right there, very briefly. Let's have a quick peek at it. So I want one more frame. Oh, it briefly had an eye. What was its shape? Is that a triangle? Yeah, I'm curious. I just noticed something. Well, I don't think that's very round. You know, I know what a circle looks like. That ain't it. That's very hazy. But you got a triangle there. Look at it there. Same. Right turds. This is geoengineering. This is a geostorm. Yep. What's it all about, Alfie? Is it just for the land grab you live? What's it all about, smartening up your cities, Alfie? Chem bomb in the breeze. Yep, only fools believe. The BLM. You got the steps move happening in here. Where you clearly see a pit has been mapped out. Well, it will be mapped out. Now you get steps here. Right, off to the coast. That'll be Cape Byron right there. That's Byron, and you actually have a beam shooting out all the way from here. Actually, you have one come down coast here. So there's your corridor. Right, you have a beam here, here, here. Yeah, we're going to map where it's likely to come ashore now. I'm going to do this in front of you. Right. Steps down the coast are here. You may come down a little more. Corridor. Straight through here. This is where she's going. EMF clearly says, you guys are fucked. Get your arcs ready if you're along this path. If you're along this path. Some heavy falls are going to get split through here. Let me get rid of some of the lines. Right, comes in. Main part of this storm's coming like this. And it's going to rain a good bit through here. Good bit through there. Secondary here. Hits that line here. Yeah, Brisbane, get ready. Ipswich and all you back there, get ready. The geoengineers are coming for the housing they're going to need for the Olympics in 2032, maybe. Smarten up, smarten up. You don't need to have a smart city that'll dumb you down. You just need to pay attention. So we'll go back over here towards the first. See what's about to play through. She dances off the coast. The winds about that point should be barely even tropical storm strength. About 40, 50 mile an hour winds. Right up Rainbow Beach is Wazoo, gets the Bradshaw effect, it dissipates, and I'm not in agreement with that because I think it's going to come more to the west of there and up through this areas here. Like Kilkyvan, Gympie, Jinma, Kilcoy, like through that pit. Probably be about as wide as over to Kenilworth, Imbil, Gympie itself. My gosh, this is going to be one of those events. And on the 3-year anniversary of the traumatic experiences that so many experienced down the northern rivers from the man-made floods of that, they're going to do it again. And this time to your neighbors. And I don't think you may even be totally out of the woods, Lismar. All I know is it doesn't look like you're going to have huge problems. But if that could change at any time. Because when the chem bombs fly, weather changes. Like this waveform here, just holding that in place here, just out to the west of Sydney. And the chemtrails going over here across, look at this here. Off the coast here. They went right across Bass Strait. Those are chemtrails. They didn't dissipate like a natural contrail would. So we are owed an honest answer to what is going on. Proposed experiments should never be openly done before they're approved. We should get informed consent to anything done in our sky. And any suggestion of blocking the sun, reflecting it out into space, is not taking into account the other life forms that benefit from us not doing that. And I don't want to breathe the fallout of chemicals in the sky. I don't like acid rain in my forest defoliating, and I don't like seeing all these chem bombs and all this frying going on over here over the Tasmania area where you got a radar over here that could do one hell of a beam. And you got the EMF here showing it's been deployed. Tiger has fired. Jorn is active. The beams It's so evident to watch. We look at the ones here, the ones I marked off. Fiji, you're still fucked. Vanuatu and them still very, very, very fucked. As I'll show you some of the tropical shit in there because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to continue this forecast today. I find it very traumatic, and I got a lot of PTSD off the storms in Lismore and just being reminded of what happened there. And I predicted it so far in advance. And I copped it. Looks like that main cell has gone over towards your east, which is great news. But still the total showing up for you is very bad. Very, very bad. So you ain't out of the woods there, Port Villa, and the people over there. Some of these tropical islands are going to fare better than others. One of the tendrils here was absolutely, I couldn't see how it would happen. Like this one. How's that just going to stay out there? It's nearly beyond that position now. How the hell that just rained down all the way over there? So this is a bunch of bullshit from Axis is lying like a motherfucker. Right? None of them are really showing the path that I've determined. None of them are showing the path I've determined. So you go back and look at what I said. And heads up Capricorn coast. Heads up Rocky and Yupun. And Ruchi, get your arcs ready. This one ain't going to be fun. Big love. Stay safe. Peace. Bastards.